This is a brand analysis for BMW. History. Before it became what we now know as the BMW, the company was first Rapp Motorenwerk in 1913. 4 years later, it was renamed Bayerisches Motorenwerk. It only manufactured aircraft engines at the beginning. In 1922, Camillo Castiglione bought the name BMW and put it in one of his other aircraft company, Bayerisches Flugzeugwerk. As a result, BMW's established date became 7th of March 1916. BMW started its production for motorcycle in 1923 and 5 years later for the automobile. Its first production car was the 315, previously known as the Dixie 315, a car from the company Automotive Eisenach that BMW bought. From 1939 to 1945, as World War II broke out, BMW reverted to manufacture airplane engines. After the war, it was banned from the making of automobiles until 1952. The brand faced the danger of bankruptcy in 1959 due to poor sales. During this time, Quantz Group managed to become BMW's largest holder. This also helped prevent the idea of merging BMW into Daimler-Benz at the time. In 1962, BMW introduced the new class vehicles, which later saved the company from the brink of bankruptcy. The coupe version, designed by Wilhelm Hofmeister, featured the C-pillar style that has become a legacy in the design of all BMW. It is often referred to as the Hofmeister King. In 1966, BMW purchased Hans Glas, an automotive company. The latter's plant in Dingolfing is now BMW's largest production facility. In 1968, BMW introduced the replacement for the new class, called the New 6. The coupe version was called the New 6 CS. It was the debut for the quad headlights, which is still an important design feature of any BMW to date. In 1972, the famous M division was established. Its initial purpose was for racing programs, which proved successful. It is now responsible for making higher performance models for almost all existing BMW's vehicles. From 1972 to 1978, BMW gradually unveiled the 3 Series, 5 Series, and 7 Series, all of which still exist until today. The company produced its first mid-engine sports car in the form of the M1 in 1978. It was also M Division's first road car. In 1989, BMW introduced 2 more series to its range, the 8 and the Z. The former only lasts for one generation. However, both series are receiving their respective new generation and are expected to debut in 2018. In 1994, BMW acquired Rover's Group, which at the time consisted of Rover, Land Rover, Mini, and MG. However, the merger was not a success, and BMW later had to sell most of them, with only Mini remains until today. 4 years later, BMW bought the right of the brand name and the logo of Rolls-Royce. It later acquired the Spirit of Ecstasy and the grille-shaped trademark from Volkswagen. In 1999, BMW unveiled the first SUV, the X5. It now has a total of 6 existing models in the series. Well known for its persistent use of naturally aspirated engines. However, in 2006, the company produced the first ever turbocharged engine, the N54, which debuted in the E92 335i. In 2013, BMW made the first move to electric vehicle with the revelation of the i3 and the i8. Image. BMW has always been one of the leading brands when it comes to driving experience. A lot of this is due to their naturally aspirated engines. One of the best examples has to be the S65, an engine that produced 414 horsepower, revs to almost 9,000 RPM as it screams loudly but delightfully. Apart from that, BMW vehicles are really a joy to drive. The E30 M3, E20 M5, E34 535i are some of the best in their era. When BMW decided to finally use turbocharge, a lot of people, especially BMW enthusiasts, feared that it would take away the joy to drive a Beamer. Nonetheless, the new 2 Series with the N55 turbocharged engine still proves BMW's ability to deliver one of the best driving experience there is. Yet, a change wasn't the most important for the image of BMW. Its release of the i3 and i8 in 2013 is the big announcement to the world that the company is ready for the future of electric vehicle. It has been quite successful too, with the i3 sales just reached 100,000. A combination of fun to drive and environmental friendly is definitely always welcomed. Current state. In terms of performance, BMW is still doing fine with their sales. From January the 1st to September 13th, it has sold over 1.5 million vehicles, a small increase of 3.5% compared to the same period last year. The production volume also saw a similar increase of 4.3%. A look into the sales volume of individual models, there has been several significant changes. The biggest winner of them all is this X1 with the 38.7% jump from last year. The 1 Series and 7 Series get a decent step up, while the I model continues to see success with a nearly 20% increase. Despite being BMW's top selling model, the 3 Series and 5 Series has been underperforming so far, though only by a minimal margin. By region, Europe is still BMW's main market with over 800,000 units sold. Asia comes behind with 600,000, while America is only a little over 300,000. But on a national scale, China is the best-selling market with 430,000 models sold. Although it is worth noting that the regional numbers also include that of Minis and Rolls-Royce. Design-wise, BMW still keeps its traditional elements while also incorporating some new ones. For a start, there's the unmistakable kidney grills that have been on every BMW since 1933. The quad headlights that made their first appearance in the E9 are indispensables, same as the L-shaped taillights that were created in the same era. And it wouldn't be a complete BMW without the Hofmeister King, which has always been featured since its debut in the new class 1500 sedan. BMW also keeps its vehicle in a similar proportion: long wheelbase, long sweeping bonnet, and set-back passenger compartments. Competitors. Naturally, BMW's main competitor have always been Mercedes. The rivalry between these two companies is a joy to watch. Thanks to it, the world of automobiles constantly move forward with the technology they bring about. Independent suspension, diesel engine, turbocharge. Their constant competition means we can drive the cars we have today. Audi is another brand that rivals BMW. Its range of saloon cars, including the A5, A6, A8, and many more, continuously challenge both BMW and Mercedes. Audi also occasionally has a commercial work with BMW, which is amusing to see on the billboards. In recent years, other brands have also tried to compete with BMW, though in a much smaller scales. Alfa Romeo's Giulia, Cadillac with the CTS-V, or the upcoming Kia Stinger are some of the potential candidates that comes to mind. Future. BMW has drawn a clear future for itself with the Vision Next 100. While a lot of automakers emphasize on EV and autonomous vehicle, BMW keeps its focus on the driver. The vision is to further connect the drivers with their cars using the digital companion. This technology will always provide the right recommendations to fit the needs of its owner. In the near future, BMW is definitely still a big brand. Its vehicles are still an icon of driving pleasure, despite the challenge coming from the rivals. With the scheduled release of a new generation for the Z series and the return of the 8 series in 2018, BMW is expected to expand its presence in the automotive industry even further. The outlook for the Bavarian automaker is surely a bright one.